Hello, hello. Coming on with the daily dose this morning and feeling good. I hope everyone is having an awesome Tuesday. I know I am, and I hope I can get some people to jump on here with me and so we can talk a little bit about mental health this morning. Very brief daily dose. Mental health. Mental health. Very interesting. I just want to share like a little story in today's daily dose and talk a little bit about a webinar that I'm doing on Thursday. So come in, say hello, and join me on this short daily dose this morning. So I had a few things happen to me recently that I'm going to talk about today on the daily dose, and really I'm going to talk about one of those things in particular, and then I'll share something else with you as well. But come in, introduce yourself, say hello, and I'll shout you out as well. I'm Jennifer Taylor. I am a certified clinical master herbalist, physiologist, doula, and Reiki practitioner, and I help women to use natural and holistic ways to rediscover their feminine beauty. So today I'm talking about mental health because I had an experience yesterday actually. I'm going to discuss that one and then kind of talk about something else that I'm doing. So I was in the grocery store yesterday and basically I was putting my groceries in the trunk of my car, and as I was doing that I heard this terrible screaming, and it was like incomprehensible screaming from a child, and it was in the car right beside mine, and I kind of looked over there trying to be a little nonchalant about it, and I saw there was a boy screaming. He was saying, get me out, I want out, I want out, I want my daddy, I want daddy, and it wasn't even comprehensible. Like those are things I put together. And so his mother was helping him, and she was very, very sweet to him. She was just like, I know you want out. We have to calm down first. You have to stop hitting this. You can't you can't act like this right now. Please calm down. Like very, very trained. Like I hate to use that word, but basically she was trained to speak with him this way, or that's what it sounded like, right? It wasn't like, stop, like they were arguing. Okay, so I knew at that point that it was kind of something more. It wasn't just a temper tantrum from a child or whatever. It had to be more than that. So what was going through my mind was like, okay, I'm a healer. I should do my job, right? Like I said on yesterday's daily dose, I'm a Cancer. I take in people's emotions. Hey, Crystal. I take in people's emotions. I'm very emotional myself, and so I take in people's emotions. I try to stay, kind of put my little barrier up, because if I get involved in stuff, I tend to take on that emotion, and I try to not do that as much. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm a healer, and I can tell that this little boy wasn't just acting out like it was just whatever. Like there was something going on. So I thought, okay, let me take a deep breath, take my cart to back, and take a deep breath and go back and see what I can do, and just talk with him. The father was coming back out too, and they were getting in the car, and so I tried to hurry up and stop them, and I was like, does your son have anxiety issues? And I talked with the mom. I was like, excuse me, does your son have anxiety issues? Does he, have issues with separation or whatever? And she was like, no, he has autism. And I said, oh, okay. So, and I proceeded to tell her, I'm an herbalist. I mostly work with women, adult women. And, but there are things that, I've dealt with anxiety myself. And so there are things that can help with anxiety, especially in children, and autism, since it is a spectrum disorder, meaning that it can lead to, or there can be multiple issues that come along with the autism, such as anxiety and such as anger and rage and things like that, right? I'm not an expert in autism. I'm just saying that's usually what happens and can happen. So I told her, you know, there are herbs that can really be helpful for that. Um, and she was like, "We tried everything, you know. Yes, I would love to talk with you." And I was like, "Oh, great. You know, it's not like I'm intruding here." I felt good that I was able to maybe, you know, talk with her about what we can do. And she was like, "Yeah, we tried everything, and so I'll be interested in something natural, a natural solution, especially to his anger and rage type things, you know, because he was kind of getting a little upset, you know. I don't know what he was hitting or whatever, but he was getting upset." And so she was like, "Yeah, we exchanged numbers, and I hope she does call me. If not, I'm gonna call her and see what we can do." So the point is, you know, autism is something that I believe it like it is a spectrum disorder. So it can lead to, or it can have a combination of mental issues, right? And there's also mental health issues such as, you know, dementia, Alzheimer's in older people, anxiety, trichotillomania, what else? Depression, okay? And I'll talk about depression in a minute here too. These mental, you know, disorders, they can be treated. They can be treated naturally without really harsh pharmaceuticals, okay? So they can be treated with herbs, with nutrition, with meditation, with and with exercise too, okay? So like it has to be a holistic approach to it. Making a very calm environment for a child is really important. Like I've seen that a lot, being very effective for autistic children, having a very calm environment. And why not live in a very calm environment all the time? But hope my connection stays okay there. So anyway, this morning then I saw another, you know, I do some research in the morning. So I look at some articles and things and to see, you know, how can I, you know, things that I want to talk about. And of course, my intuition or the universe brought this article to my attention. I clicked on Scientific American, and there's an article. Let me actually pull it up. So this is the first thing when I clicked on Scientific American. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, just messed that up. I'm gonna flip the camera. Oh, well, they moved it now, so I guess, and that tells you even more that that I was supposed to see this, because now there's a new article on the homepage. But so this is it here. Most depressed adults in the U.S. remain untreated. Only 28.7% of those who screen positive for depression receive any treatment during the survey year. Okay. Hey, Steven. I didn't see you down there. So I read that article, and it wasn't a coincidence that I saw that because I was supposed to discuss this today, and I'm on the right track with what I'm doing, because I plan to have a mental health and women's health webinar on herbs, basically herbal 101 for women's health, and it's going to include some mental health stuff in my Facebook group. And so basically I want to challenge you also, and I always try to give a challenge on the Daily Dose. I want to challenge you to believe and understand that herbs can be used for any and every illness within the body. And basically it's an imbalance. So, okay, so autism and these types of mental disorders are imbalances in the body. Really every disorder is an imbalance in the body. So as a physiologist, everything has to be in a homeostatic environment, or in a homeostatic state, right? You can't have too much or too little of something or whatever. So there's always an imbalance. If there is an imbalance, that's when the problems come up, right? So for mental illnesses, you're talking about the brain and nutrients, especially that are feeding the brain. And so there's macro and micronutrients. And I won't go too scientific in this, but there's macro and micronutrients. And then there's one micronutrient that is it's called a microRNA. And there's a lot of research. Like if you type in autism in a scientific search base, such as PubMed, one of the first articles that comes up, and I did this morning, is information about microRNAs on autism. And so these microRNAs are, the regulatory molecules, okay? So they basically suppress. And so when it comes to like cancer or any inflammation type problems, you want to have more suppression at that point because the cancer is too out of control growth, right? So that's just an example, but the same type of thing where there's an imbalance, there's too much or too little of something when it comes to mental health issues, right? In the brain especially. And so herbs are the ultimate balancers. They are the ultimate balancers. They are in sync with your body. And like I said yesterday on another live that I did in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, was basically that why, as an herbalist, it's like, why am I talking about mindset? Why did I create a mindset course? Well, because mindset is so important for health. But as an herbalist, you do have to really have the mindset that you can heal from these herbs. You have to work on your mindset to be able to believe that the herbs are working for you. Okay, and I know, that might not be understandable for some people, but when you start taking herbs, you'll see what I'm talking about. So it is type of a thing that, because we're in the society where a lot of times pharmaceutical drugs are, pushed down our throats basically. And so that if it's not a white pill or a capsule, we think it's not working. If it's a tea, we think that's something that you buy, sweet tea from from McDonald's. So, there's this mental disconnect with herbs, and there's a mental disconnect with nature, okay, in general. And so we have to start to incorporate that connection back first, and that comes with mindset and being mindful. And when you start to be more mindful, you start to connect with the earth and the universe anyway. And so that all is tied in there. And I'm creating a course so this can be more, so I can explain this better to people, and so they can start to use this work. I think somebody else joined, but I can't see. Hey, Kirby! And so basically what I was talking about earlier was, if you can go back and do the replay, I'm almost done here. But herbs, and I told the story about experience I had with a child yesterday that had autism, and his mother was trying to help him, and we talked a little bit about some herbal remedies that can be used for autism, and how autism is a spectrum disorder, and how it can lead to other mental problems such as anger and rage and anxiety and stuff like that. And so those are all imbalances. This is kind of a recap here. Imbalances in macro and micronutrients in the body, and herbs are the ultimate balancers. So there's a bunch of herbs that can help to balance, and they can be specific for different parts of the body, such as your brain. And so using them for that purpose to help balance your system is very powerful, along with the holistic approach, which is nutrition, nutrition, diet, meditation, mindfulness, exercise, and social interaction as well. So if you're interested in taking or coming to the webinar, you can join my Beauty and Bloom Sisterhood group. I'll leave the link below, but that's going to be on Thursday. I'm going to do a webinar within the group on Thursday about mental health, especially, and then some herbs for women, because it's a women's group. And so on Thursday, I think I put it at 6 o'clock Eastern time. If you're interested in jumping in the webinar with us, you can do that if you join the group. It's Beauty and Bloom Sisterhood. And so I wanted to get on here and invite you to it, talk to you a little bit about mental health. And if you have questions or comments, leave them below. I appreciate that. I think that's all I wanted to say. Have a great Tuesday. Until next time. Peace.